good evening, everybody. It is evening still, yeah. It is 6:10 in the evening. We've had a busy day today. Finally, over the course yesterday afternoon and this morning, the wind picked up and the sun came out. So we were able to finish off that last field of oilseed rape. And now we are heading north. So I've already moved the combine. Now we're just moving to my trailers at once here with a bit of a road train. Just going to use the one tractor and trailer today because the others are tied up with other machines at the moment, and I don't really want to take the drill off the back of the other fence, for example. So we're heading up north. Shouldn't take too long here. It's only a couple of minute drive. We're going to go pop through Riverton-on-Sea, out the other side, and we've got the combine already parked up. Just need to get the header jumped onto it. We're going to try and get some barley cut up there. Quite a large field. All being well, we'll be able to get at least the headlands knocked off before the damp sets in tonight, and then we'll be in a good place where tomorrow we can kick on and really finish this off. So that's the intention. We had another average day on the oilseed rape today. The field next door to the one we cut in the last video was a little bit smaller, and it stayed true to the kind of the average at the moment and produced a little bit less of a yield, but it was for the ground conditions we were growing in. It's all right. It's just nice to have it in the shed now. In all honesty, so we've sold that off, and that's another one off the list, and we'll be able to get the cultivator into there pretty quickly. Get that turned over, and that'll be going into winter wheat fairly quickly. So the other good news is that all the bales are sold from the previous field of barley straw, so that is now ready to be drilled for next year's oilseed rape, which will be going in probably tomorrow, I think. We just had to do a little bit of additional calibration to the drill following the cover crop session we had the other day. But that's been done, so we're looking good for harvest tomorrow, for drilling tomorrow, beg your pardon. So we'll probably get Jess onto that, I think, tomorrow whilst we're harvesting, or maybe my dad might be coming in to drive the combine, and I might go and jump on the drill and just let him plod along on the combine here. He seems to like doing that. So how have you all been anyway? I hope you've enjoyed your weekend. I am filming this on Sunday night. Wait. Yes, Sunday night. So we know that I hope you've had a nice, long, enjoyable, relaxing weekend, because I certainly haven't. Been full of busy this weekend. My other job has taken a lot of my time at the moment, but we're getting through it. Still giving me a little bit of time to do a bit more of the West Coast as and when. Alright, so what we're going to do here, this is our winter wheat field, and then as you can see the combine's kind of, well, roughly parked in the edge of the field really. We brought this up straight from the last field of canola we were in. So we're going to disconnect you there. Let's move forward a little bit, and you can be parked there for now. So this field's looking a bit thick. We inherited this field in the crop on the tendency, so we've actually put nothing into this field. We paid a little bit above the price for the first year's rate because of the fact that it was with crop. However, we haven't had to put many variables into this in terms of inputs for fertilizer, so we've probably evens out actually, let's be honest. But what I don't expect this is gonna take too long to cut. And we're back. So this one shouldn't take too long to cut, but what we are going to do is pull ourselves out of this tree to begin with. And I'm just about to see my header trailer there. There we go. We'll just get ourselves hooked up here. We're going to hopefully take a look quite a bit off this field tonight, all being well. Nice combining as the sun is about to go down here, which is always good fun. Oh, I need to turn myself around somehow. Alright, so I'm just going to leave the combine here. I'm going to go around and connect the shafts and cable piping down into the header. We'll make sure everything's looking okay following the OSR we've been in. We need to take the knives off the front, and I'll come back to you in a second. Okie dokie, so we are good to go. Just had a wander around there. There's a few points that want a little bit of grease on there actually. For those of you who ever wonder who you've seen this, on the bottom of the combine here we have these weird little kind of springs really. Now what they do, they are actually communication monitors really that will feed information back to the header, to the combine computer. And it tells us a couple of things about the ground level. So when they start to move, the header can automatically adjust itself to the level of the contours in the ground, so it kind of gives a more even level cut. The combine itself stays level, and the reason we want that to happen is so that we don't, if the combine tilts on its what will be on its y-axis really, if it tilts on its y-axis, then it will the grain in the sieves inside as we start to thresh starts to be like fall to one side and is not evenly threshed through. So when that happens, it can result in us losing. It can result in us losing grain out the back of the combine, really, which is the last thing we want. Okay, so we'll get underway here. We're going to take our first few headlands off, and we'll see how we're looking. Like I said, I don't foresee we'll get on for too much longer before the weather comes in. We are just trying to stay off that field margin on the side there. A lot of our ground, and I'm very pleased to see that this Tennessee ground has it as well, has like a 3-4 meter wild bird seed field margin, and that works for two reasons. The first one is that obviously it provides shelter, habitat, food, hunting environments for birds and insects, but also when we're in the stages of planting our cover crops, it allows us to, or in the planting our crops, beg your pardon, it allows for any, it's a catchment belt for any soil erosion. So the grassland on the side kind of acts as like a dam really. So when the water rushes off the field, when we try to limit that as much as possible through the establishment of cover crops, if it is likely to happen, it will cover it as much as we can. So that's the thought process behind that at least. And it's part of our Lincoln Environment and Agriculture and Farming scheme, or LEAF scheme, that we are trying to incorporate into our farm practice as much as possible. It does tend to point your farming business into a more environmentally friendly situation, I find, and that's why we across the last kind of 5-6 years, we definitely in our previous farm and here we're definitely trying to bring that into our modern practices. So we are kind of rattling through here, which is good, but it doesn't mean it's going to be quite a thin crop. It looks quite a healthy, thick crop, but the combine's mincing through it really without any issues. We'll go back. We are going to be baling this straw up as well. We're going to try and get this stuff sold to get a little bit of extra revenue out of the field before we put it into OSR. We will be typically wanting to get this baled and cleared within the next week really, so I need to kind of find a buyer quickly for this. But I'm confident with the condition of a lot of people's harvest this year that there's going to be a big market for straw out there, so we'll get this sold. Look at that sunset, isn't that glorious? One to the picture book. So I know I have been saying this a few times, but I am keep meaning on taking us back over to see what's happening at Cobra. There's a few new things and new updates I would like to keep you abreast of there. So they are in definite need of a revisit there, and that's coming soon. I'm just finding it very difficult to pull myself away from the West Coast here. For obvious reasons, it is stunning, and it's like proving harder and harder with every hour you put in here to go back and revisit. I've got a lot of work I need to complete there, and also on over across on Thornton as well. But we will get there. If you haven't already checked out some of those videos, then do go and hit up my channel and find them. There's a little bit of something on there for everybody, really. And Wayne, one day we will get you your root crop harvest. Don't you worry, buddy. That will be coming shortly. On location to be decided, but it will be coming. There's an opportunity on all fronts there. Looks like we've got some sugar beet next door there. Not my field though. Again, with the Massey combines, this monitor, as great as it is for all the information it shows, it doesn't half block the line of sight to that corner of the header. Can't see a thing over that. If there's one thing I could change about this combine, and maybe put that, built it into the console down there like the Lexions have, or have it mounted up in the top corner there so it's not in your way. Okay, nearly round on one tank, so it's not going to take us too long, or we're not going to get a great deal off of this field, but it's, again, at this stage we just need to get ourselves caught up and get ahead. The winter wheat over the hedge here is not far away from being ready to go. There's another field of OSR on the other side, the buildings there that we need to get into as well. So we got lots to do and not much time to do it. And quite a couple of fields down back on the other side of the village to crack on with as well. So at this stage it's more important for me just to be able to really tuck in and chew up some ground here. So what I'm going to do is clear a little bit more space, and then we'll get the tractor and trailer in, because I don't think I'm going to make another pass. Okay, so I'm going to run across and grab the tractor and trailer, pull it into the field here. We've got the two trailers, so I mean, we'll probably just go until we fill the one trailer tonight, in all honesty, and then we'll just park. We'll see how we get on there. We might just take the 3 headlands off and then call it quits at that stage. We'll just park whatever we have inside one of the sheds at the yard there. I've spoken to the owner of the farm, and he's more than happy for me to do that, so that's good news. Park the tractor there. God, that sunset gets better every second. Move myself over a bit. Poor tractor driving there. There we go. What I do like about this combine header, a lot of the combine header, this one's very wide, and the reason it's wide because we have that feed belt on the front. So you have the auger running along the back, which takes any of the material, any of the grain and the crop from the cutting knives. The belt on the front there, as you can see, will then pull that back in towards the auger, and the auger pulls it down to the middle to be taken into the machine. Now it's just, it allows, as you will see when we get going here, for such a quick, easy feed into the machine here. It's very even, it's very thorough and very quick. So it really does allow for, when that gets inside the thresher, it does allow for a very nice and even thresh. It reduces the likelihood of getting on a heavy crop, for example, being clogged up there. You can speed up the belts and the augers, obviously, to match the crop you're in, which is a really good feature of this header. Actually, I'm very impressed with it, and it also helps that it's 35 foot wide, so it makes even fields this size kind of short work, really. Alright, at this stage then, I am going to go up in the sky. We're going to finish this off, well, these headlands for now, at least very quickly. And we'll see how we get on here. So I'm just going to concentrate as I get around this corner. And I'll give you an update as well. Load number 2 in the trailer. Welcome back inside the car, everybody. We have just about finished the third headland. Going a little bit slower now. There's a little bit more dew on the ground, a little bit more moisture, and it's in the air, and it's getting damp. And as a result, the crop's taking a little longer to process through. If we try and push through too hard, we find that when it gets damp, that it doesn't quite the grain itself doesn't quite come out of the buds or the ears of corn very well there. So we have to just take it a little bit slower. And with that in mind, I think we're just going to actually call it a day for the combine now. So we are just going to get this all emptied into hopefully get it all emptied into one trailer load, so we don't have to move two tonight. That would be annoying. Back we come. Might be a bit closer. This one's filling up pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll just see if we can squeeze any more in here. No. Okay. Well, with that in mind, we're just going to park this trailer inside. This can be the first one that's taken away in the morning. We'll come back and we'll empty out the rest. So it's good that we got those 3 headlands done. This field itself, it's quite a big one. If we have a look at the size, I think this is in the region of about 25-30 acres, maybe a bit more. So we've got a good chunk done by getting the three headlands wrapped off. So I'm quite happy about that. Given that it's been all my own work, I had to spend a lot of time moving the combine up this morning, and then tidying up around the yard, bringing the tractors and the trailer up, or the trailers and tractor up. So yeah, I think we're going to just pop these into there. So I might just try and scoop my way around this way. There's a gate there somewhere, I've got to be careful I don't crack off that. Get straightened up here. So we'll park it in this first bay here. The only reason we're going to do this is just so it keeps the damp off the corn, the grain tonight really. Might need to straighten up, we don't want to hit that edge of the shed. Ooh, it's going to be a bit tight. Well, it's a little bit tight, but it's in. Drop that one off there, and we'll come back for number 2. And that is number 2 emptied. So we're going to put the auger back in. Man, we're probably just going to move this. Why are we situated here? We'll park it up against the tree. Lovely stuff. Lights off. Engine off. Oh. Need to fold the top down first. And now the engine off. Alright, so we'll leave the combine there for tonight. Look at it glistening in the moon. So as you can see, very happy with the progress we've made today. We will come back and finish that up tomorrow. But we've got plenty to get on with there as well. And hopefully tomorrow or next time you see us as well, we'll be drilling some of next year's crops. So that would be nice to get on with that side of things as well. Until next time, thank you very much for watching once again. I have been Simulation for the Nation. You have been fantastic for watching as always. If you do have any comments, please drop those in the below the line. And if you have enjoyed today's show, please don't forget to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button for more from me here on the West Coast and across the country really. Until next time, once again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy farming.